Dear students, welcome back to my class. Now we are starting with the topic what is meant by in situ conservation. In the previous class we have discussed about what is meant by ex situ conservation. What is meant by ex situ conservation? It was the off-site conservation. That means we are conserving the plants as well as animals outside their natural environment. This is the quite opposite of ex situ conservation, which means the word in situ means on-site. That is, in situ conservation is the on-site conservation of plants and animals in their natural environment, which means we are preserving plants and animals in their natural habitat itself. We are not taking them into another environment. Okay, so this is called in situ conservation, or we can see that the in situ conservation is the conservation of the total biota of the ecosystem in the protected areas. What we are doing is that this particular geographical area is firstly identified, then managed and preserved for the long-term conservation of biodiversity. It also concerned with the ecosystem. We are also conserving the ecosystem services as well as the management of heritage of mankind. So that's all about the importance of the in situ conservation. You may be knowing that what is meant by national parks, sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, natural world heritages, etc. So all these things, national parks, sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, natural heritage, conservation reserves, community reserves, all these things are generally coming under this in situ conservation category. Okay, then currently there are around 103 national parks, 543 wildlife sanctuaries, 18 biosphere reserves, 73 conservation resources, 45 community resources, 467 important bird areas, 26 Ramsar wetland sites and 131 marine protected areas are existing. So let's move to the detail of each one. What is meant by national parks? You will know that what is meant by national park. It is a protected area which is mainly concerned with conserving the outstanding natural flora and fauna. Here, in this national parks, activities like hunting, killing, capturing, deprivation of their natural habitat, destruction and collection of this wild flora as well as fauna are strictly prohibited. Also, the grazing of livestock as well as other human activities are strictly prohibited here. Here, the rules can be permitted. Rules can be allowed by means of the permission which is taken from the Chief Wildlife Warden of the state under the provision in Chapter 4 of the Wildlife Protection Act. Among the national parks, the largest one is Northeast Greenland National Park, which was established in 1947. And the first declared Indian National Park is Haley National Park, and now it has been renamed into Jim Corbett National Park in 1936. This is a picture of the Revikulam National Park. So that's all about the national parks. Then what is meant by wildlife sanctuaries? This is an area which is set apart for the preservation of wildlife, flora and fauna under natural condition. Here also, just like in national parks, killing, hunting and capturing of species are strictly prohibited. In India, this is established by the gazetted notification under the state government. Here, the removal or the exploitation of the wildlife or the forest produces from a sanctuary requires the recommendation of the State Board for Wildlife. Okay, then comes what is meant by biosphere reserves. These are the protected areas where most of the biological species are given protection and multiple land use for humans are permitted. This was established by the UNESCO's Man and Biosphere Reserve Program. Biosphere Reserve, that is MAB program. These are protected species include wildlife population, native tribals. The protected species in this biosphere reserve generally includes wildlife population of native tribals, cultivated plants as well as domesticated animals. This biosphere reserve was first launched in 1971 as a part of Man and Biosphere program. The main objective of this biosphere reserve is that they are mainly concerned with the conservation of all forms of life and their support system. They are also concerned with the promotion of sustainable development. And also it will provide the man and nature together for conserving natural as well as natural resources. Okay. Biosphere reserve generally has three different zones. A core zone in which there is no human activities are permitted, which is followed by a buffer zone in which a little human activity or intermediate human activities are allowed. The other one is called the manipulation or transition zone. Here free human activities are permitted. Around 631 biosphere reserves are worldwide distributed in 119 countries. Among this 631, 118 biosphere reserves are known to be from India, and the following are the important among them, that is Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve, Uttarakhand Biosphere Reserve, and Nokrek Biosphere Reserve. Then let's move to the detail of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. This is a representation of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves. It spreads over three different states like Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. It approximately extends 670 km with 3,133 km spreading mainly in Kerala. It covers Nilgiri, Periyar, Nilambur, Silent Valley, Wayanad, Nagarhole, Bandipur, Mudumalai, and Shivani. They generally consisting of the following: vegetation like a scrub forest, dry deciduous forest, moist deciduous forest, wet evergreen forest, as well as grasslands. The common animals generally seen in this biosphere reserve are elephant, gaur, line-tailed macaque, sloth bear, pangolin, and Nilgiri tahr. What are the World Heritage Sites? These are internationally well-known biodiversity areas which is identified by the World Heritage Committee, and it includes the following. The first one, wilderness areas. Wilderness areas are the large areas which is protected less strictly than biosphere reserves. The second one is natural monuments. These are small areas which is selected to protect natural monuments and their surroundings. Then species management areas. These are specific areas which is selected for the conservation of certain habitats or species which requires constant protection. That is why it is called a species management area. It requires constant protection. Then the fourth one is called the protected landscapes and seascape. Here the specific areas of the lands or sea selected for the protection and interaction of the neighboring communities. So these are the World Heritage Sites. Okay, you may be knowing some of them. And what actually is the features of this World Heritage Sites, or what is the importance? This is actually typical examples of geophysical and biological evolution. Here, rare, unique, and biologically interesting features that we can see. It contains rare and critically endangered plants as well as animals. If India is considered, India generally has 8 World Heritage Sites, in which 7 are natural and 1 is mixed. So that's all about the in situ conservation. In situ conservation is nothing but we are conserving plants and animals in the natural environment itself. It includes national parks, sanctuaries, biosphere reserves, World Heritage Centers, etc. So I hope you understood. If you have any doubt, please do in the comment section. Thank you.